Back with Boston's Mayor Marty Walsh and the OTR Pop Quiz. Question 3. The link of Boston parks is known as the Emerald Necklace. Yes. They stretch from Back Bay to Dorchester. Who is the world-renowned landscape architect that designed it more than 100 years ago?
Olmsted.
Frederick Law Olmsted. He also designed New York City Central Park and the grounds of the White House and the Capitol. Right. Question 4. There is a new floating twine sculpture high above the Rose Kennedy Greenway. What does it represent?
The Big Dig. I mean, the Central Avenue project. I was here the other day. Well, listen, let me tell you, the other day we unveiled it. We didn't unveil it. I announced the other day, and actually the designer of it was talking about the green and the rust and the metal and how the elevated roadways to go to Boston.
It had nothing to do with it. It's Boston sailing and fishing history.
I tried.
But other than that, you did great.
It sounded good.
Man, you almost convinced me.
You filibuster your way.
But he did talk.
She did. You're right. With great ceremony, the Swans returned to the public garden earlier this month. In fact, you and Lori were escorted, a couple of them, to the water. What are their names? Not Marty and Lori, but what are the Swans' names?
Oh, man. Tom Brady. I think one might be Daisy.
Tom and Brady. Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah,
all right, there you go. And speaking of Tom Brady.
Here's the good news, okay? The pop quiz is over, and I'm going to ask you about Tom Brady. You've been a Patriots season holder, ticket holder for a very long time. So do you think this penalty against him was appropriate?
I don't. I mean, I've been talking about it all week, and I think everyone in Boston doesn't agree with the penalty. I just don't think the NFL made a case, at least to us in the public, not that they have to make it to us, but everything they released didn't really say anything. It seemed like it was all hearsay. They didn't really prove any facts that Tom Brady actually did something with deflated footballs. But putting that aside, I think the person that summed it up the best this week, in my opinion, was Maura Healey, the Attorney General, when she spoke about the penalty, comparing it to 2 games for beating your girlfriend or wife,
for domestic violence,
and 4 games for deflating footballs. The NFL should refocus their attention on domestic violence, and I agree with her on that.
Do you think the league is smart enough to recognize that that's where the focus should be? That an equipment, whatever it is not equal to...
Well, put aside Tom Brady for a minute. I think, and I love football as you do, and a lot of people do every Sunday, look forward to the season. I think they have to get their priorities straight when it comes to penalizing what the players do. I think, and this is every professional athlete, politicians across the board, whatever it is, you need to get your priorities straight. And I think when you talk about domestic violence, last year they ran the TV commercials on the domestic violence, and it was in light of what happened in the league. And they talk about penalties for Tom Brady, and is this enough? It's sucking the life out of everything. When in fact, if they focus this much attention on domestic violence and some of the other problems they have, and actually helped some of their players, I think it would be better suited for the NFL.
Some people suggest jealousy of Boston played a factor here. Do you think so?
I mean, it could have. I think that, I'll tell you this. I think that, the Patriots won the Super Bowl this year. People always kind of bet against the Patriots, cheer against the Patriots. I would not want to be, if the suspension's not changed, I would not want to be the Indianapolis Colts.
But I cannot understand any jealousy toward the Patriots, because every owner in the NFL, their franchise has more than doubled since the Patriots have run through this championship run, so they've made a lot of money.
And I think it could be jealousy, whatever it might be, but I just think that for a team, it's a high penalty.
Let's stay on the sports team. Boston 2024 is trying to revamp its image, its leadership. Steve Pagliuca and Larry Lucchino are replacing John Fish, essentially. Do you think this is really going to change the public's support for the games?
Well, I don't know if it's going to change the public's support for the games, but I think what's going to happen here is I view it as it's growing. The team is growing, and John Fish is still on the board. He's vice chair of the board. Steve Pagliuca went up to the chair of the board. Larry Lucchino came on board. Jack Connors came on board. I think it's important to be able to get messages out there. I think what happened with 2024 and with the Olympic movement in the beginning was a couple of stories that went bad and just spiraled. And I think those are behind everyone now. And I think now it's about having a conversation about what the Olympic means bringing.
So you're still hopeful it's going to work out?
Absolutely.
I don't want to leave the Red Sox off the table very quickly. I know you inherited the deal that Mayor Menino made with the Red Sox, and the use of Yawkey Way for games, and the city's making about $7.5 million. They'll collect that over the next 10 years, and then for as long as Fenway Park is there, Yawkey Way gets closed off. What is your thought on that?
I mean, it's closed off during game day. It's still but it's still open to the public when there's non-game days, and I just think. I looked at the deal in the past. I don't know why it had to be done at the time. I mean, the Red Sox are a great organization. They've done a lot of great things in our city, but I think that keeping that street in the public domain is fine. I mean, we're responsible for it is an open street for the most part. I don't understand what the benefit to the Red Sox really is long term. We'll see what happens, but.
So might you charge them more after 10 years?
No, it's their street then.
It's their street.
They're actually buying it.
So you wouldn't try to change that or trying to change the deal?
You can't. So it's a binding document.
Mr. Mayor, thank you for joining us. Our thanks to Boston's Mayor Marty Walsh for joining us this morning as we continue in OTR. Governor Baker versus the MBTA union. OTR's Ted Reinstein is weighing the odds.
I would never bet against a union in Massachusetts.